Trabant was produced without major changes for almost 30 years. The Trabant became the most common automobile in East Germany. It came to symbolize the country during the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, as images of East Germans crossing the border into West Germany were broadcast around the globe. Since its manufacturer was a state monopoly, acquiring a Trabant took about 10 years. East German buyers were placed on a waiting list of up to 13 years. The waiting time depended on their proximity to Berlin, the capital. Official state price was 7,400 marks and the demand to the production ratio was 43 to 1, 19 in year 1989. The free market price for a second-hand one was more than twice the price of a new one, and the average worker had to wait 10 to 13 years on a waiting list, or if available, pay more than double for a second-hand model. The Trabant had a steel unibody frame with the roof, bootlet, bonnet, wings and doors made of Duroplast, a hard plastic made from recycled cotton, waste from the Soviet Union, and fennel reins from the East German dye industry. It was the second car with a body made of recycled material. The first was in Zwickau, produced from 1955 to 1959. The material was durable and the average lifespan of a Trabant was 28 years. The Trabant's build quality was poor, reliable was terrible, and it was loud, slow, and poorly designed. The engine produced a very smoky exhaust and was a significant source of air pollution, 9 times the hydrocarbons and 5 times the carbon monoxide emissions of the average 2007 European car. Because the Trabant had no fuel pump, its fuel tank was above the motor so fuel could reach the carburetor by gravity. This increased the risk of fire in front-end accidents. Earlier models had no fuel gauge, and a dipstick was inserted into the tank to determine how much fuel remained. Known for its dual color scheme and cramped, uncomfortable ride, the Trabant is an object of ridicule for many Germans and is regarded as symbol of the fall of the Eastern Bloc. Known as a spark plug with a roof, because of its small size, the car did gain public affection. Its design remained essentially unchanged from its introduction in the late 1950s, and the last model was introduced in 1990. The 1980s model had no tachometer, no indicator for either the headlights or turn signals, no fuel gauge, no rear seat belts, no external fuel door, and no drivers had to pour a mix of gasoline and oil directly under the bonnet or hood. In contrast, the West German Volkswagen Beetle received a number of updates, including improvements in efficiency, over a similar period. The Trabant was the result of a planning process which had been intended to design a three-wheeled motorcycle. In German, Trabant is an astronomical term for moon of a celestial body. Trabant is a series of small cars produced from 1957 to 1991 by former East German car manufacturer VEB Zwickau. In total, 4 different models were made: the Trabant 500, Trabant 600, Trabant 601, and the Trabant 1.1. The first Trabant model, the Trabant 500, was a modern car when it was introduced in 1957. It featured a Duroplast body mounted on a one-piece steel chassis, front-wheel drive, a transverse 2-stroke engine, and independent suspension. However, this 1950s design remained largely unchanged until the introduction of the last Trabant model, the Trabant 1.1, in 1990. Hence, the Trabant became a symbolic of the stagnant economic of former East Germany and the collapse of the Eastern Bloc in general. Called a spark plug with a roof, 3 million Trabants were produced. Older models have been sold by collectors in the United States due to their low cost and fewer restrictions on the import of antique cars. The Trabant also gained a following among the car tuning and really racing enthusiasts.